play your song, it ain't move me. So y'all go once, that she choosing. Yeah. Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot box. Know your bitch, yeah, that, yeah. Cooking up in the crock pot. We came from nothing to something. Hey. I don't try nobody, grip the trigger. Call up the gang and they come and get gang. Cry me a river, give you a tissue. It's bad and bullshit.
On behalf of University of the Incarnate Word President Dr. Thomas Evans and UIW Athletic Director Richard Duran, we welcome you to Galen Tom Benson Stadium for today's soccer match between the visiting Trailblazers of Utah Tech and your UIW Cardinals. UIW promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We encourage you to cheer for your favorite team during today's competition. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, coaches, and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, and sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from Benson Stadium. UIW thanks you for your cooperation. Incarnate Word is a Catholic institution that welcomes to its community persons of diverse backgrounds in the belief that their respectful interaction advances the discovery of truth, mutual understanding, self-realization, and the common good.
Now I made it through the weather. Better days I don't get better. I'm so sorry that it didn't work out. I'm moving on. I'm so sorry, but it's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo. I'm riding solo. I'm riding solo. I'm riding solo. Solo. I'm feeling like a star. You can't stop my shine. I'm floating cloud nine. My head's in the sky. I'm solo. I'm riding solo. Now I got my together, yeah. Now I made it through the weather. Better days I don't get better. I'm so sorry that it didn't work out. I'm moving on. I'm so sorry, but it's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo. I'm riding solo. I'm riding solo. I'm riding solo. Solo. I'm feeling like a star. You can't stop my shine. I'm floating cloud nine. My head's in the sky. I'm solo. I'm riding solo. I'm riding solo. I'm riding solo. Solo.
We can have your attention at this time, please. Alumni, we invite you to head over to the tent for food and drinks at this time. Once again, alumni, go on over to the tent for food and drinks. Thank you. And don't forget, at halftime of today's match,
And welcome to college soccer here in San Antonio, Texas, on the campus of the University of Incarnate Word. Here at Benson Stadium, we've got the Utah Tech Bison versus the UIW Cardinals in a non-conference matchup, which used to be conference opponents there while they were in the WAC. Hello and welcome to Inside the Booth. I'm Sam Kamen, joined alongside former semi-pro and collegiate soccer star Katie Goodman. And Katie, these teams have struggled so far as we see the Bison 3-9-2 on the year. The Cardinals picking up their first victory in their last game, eliminating that 11-game losing streak. These young rosters, 17 freshmen for the Trailblazers and 15 on the opposite side for the Cardinals. There's a lot of just very unexperiencedness with being freshmen, and they're just trying to build some confidence and find some positives at this point.
Right. It's looking like an entire rebuild season for both teams, and all you can really do in those situations is, take these players, pick out each one, and see what their strengths are, and try to work on those in practice. Try to make it a collective effort, and then implement what you've learned in practice. I mean, while it is a new season, it is also a chance to rebuild something very special. You might see a very, very different record from these teams as these players begin to move into their junior and senior years.
Couple bright spots on both teams. First, on the Trailblazers side for Utah Tech, one of those freshmen that have been really shining bright is Taylor Rogers.
And again, only a freshman from Albuquerque, New Mexico, but leading the team in goals and points. He's sitting at 2 goals and 1 assist. Definitely the bright star that you want added to your roster.
On the opposite side for the Cardinals, Celo DePoco is very, very offensive as that one of those freshmen.
He is, again, one of those freshmen leading the pack with 2 goals, one in Cal Fullerton and the other at San Jose State. A great addition to the roster as well for the Cardinals, and it's got to feel good, for these young freshmen coming in, being able to make an impact. That's such a rare thing to be able to do when walking into a new program.
Head coach for the Cardinals is Kiki Lara in his 3rd season of play as we are underway here in San Antonio. Kiki Lara was a player here at UIW, and a standout player, 3-time All-American, inducted into the UIW Hall of Fame here as a player. The Cardinals went 58-15-6, led them to 2 regional finals while they were at the Division II level, and then they were in the Heartland Conference at the time. 3-time MVP, so former star for the Cardinals trying to bring back some winning ways, this time as a coach.
Former star and also 2-time academic All-American. I think, when you have these players that are really impressive on the field with these huge accolades, I can guarantee you there's some serious soccer IQ behind it. So it's definitely the kind of guy that you want leading your program.
On the opposite side for the Trailblazers, they're led by their head coach, Johnny Broadhead, in his 6th year at the helm there in Utah. 40-50-6 is his overall record at Utah Tech. Only the first head coaching job he's gotten, alma mater, there at Colorado State Pueblo, has led the Trailblazers as they've gone into their transition from the Division II level to the Division I level. Made the jump from Division II in 2020 as they moved to the WAC conference. Both of these teams played in the WAC during 2020 and 2021 before the UIW Cardinals were set to move and then ended up staying in the Southland. Quick attack here for the Trailblazers, working it around the box. Unable to get a shot off, but still maintain possession, taking their time here.
Great speed of play coming out from Utah Tech. Great movement with the ball. playing with speed. And, it is a young team, and they say there's a lot of freshmen, but it's not a lot of, guys out there that physically look or appear to play or be like freshmen. And that's probably due to some of the confidence that they've been able to build over the season. And there's always that freshman 15, at least for girls. There's always a freshman 15, unfortunately. But hopefully for them, it's coming from the weight room.
Abby Gomez right there. Off his left foot, misses high and wide. So first shot misses the mark there for the Trailblazers. As there's another Trailblazer shaken up on the play. Number 22, Larson Rogers. And I would assume with the same last name and the same hometown and high school, I would assume that Taylor Rogers and Larson Rogers are brothers.
I think that's a safe one to assume as well. If they're not brothers by blood, they're probably brothers to some extent. But I think brothers by blood is a good guess.
I mean, we had twins in the game yesterday in the women's soccer game. So we're seeing lots of familiar names and maybe some family ties. It's always nice when you can grab a recruit and instead of just getting one kid, you can get two kids from the same household.
Definitely know how each other plays, and I always feel like siblings come out on top because they get all that extra practice time together that a lot of us other kids didn't have.
Cardinals now moving the ball around the box. There's Cello Tipoko, or excuse me, Best Imena working it around.
Interesting observation here is that Cuba Grant is the starting keeper over Jacob Zimmerman for this match tonight. Jacob had been starting the last couple of games, starting 9 of 10 matches, racking up some of the most minutes on the team, of course. It usually works out with the keeper, but instead they've brought out Cuba Grant tonight. He's played 2 full games. Also some impressive statistics. He's a junior, so maybe they were looking for a little bit more of that experience, that junior impression on the field as they take on an equally younger team.
Yeah, Grant has 5 saves on the year, 10 goals given up. And against a Cardinal team that has struggled to find the back of the net, maybe this is a good opportunity for Coach Broadhead to instill some of that confidence into his player at the end of the season. Always trying to build towards next season.
Right, and especially in a game that isn't necessarily going to hurt you in your own conference standings. It's a great opportunity to just try a couple of different things and see what's working or not.
Turnover there by the Cardinals in their defensive third, but kicked back out are the Trailblazers. Lead the matchup history over the Cardinals, won in 2020 and 2021. Only 2 matches between the two. Both of those were WAC conference games and would have had the chance at another one if the UIW Cardinals would have stuck to the original plan of staying or moving to the WAC, but as we know, conference realignment changes quickly, and it was just one of those better situations for the Cardinals to stay in the Southland, which ended up hurting the men's soccer program, which was the only WAC program or WAC athletic team for UIW in a different conference because the Southland doesn't have men's soccer.
Right, and it's really unfortunate for this team. They were fully expecting to go into the WAC, and it was changed at the last minute, which makes it difficult, but Coach Kiki Lara was able to bring them quite the schedule this season. I mean, yes, it's like they're record isn't looking great, but they're going up against some really, really solid schools. I mean, we have Oral Roberts and Houston Christian, College of Charleston, a lot of really good schools that are going to challenge this Cardinal squad.
And with that scheduling conflict, it was one of those very much you find out in the late part of June, early part of July. Yeah, exactly. And trying to, most times with it being a fall schedule, the schedules of who you're playing, it's only a matter of when you're playing type of deal. They had to figure that out very quickly. Coach Lara definitely happy to have just had a season and find games. And there's a foul there on the Cardinals.
Almost half expected here. Both two very physical teams having racked up some fouls under their belt on both sides so far this season. And of course, you're going up against a team that is somewhat evenly matched, and I think that's where you see a lot of these, this intensity shine through, because it's clear that even though this isn't a conference game, both teams want it. Both teams need that win to just kind of bring back the confidence.
Talking about confidence, UIW just come off a really good win over Santa Clara, 2-1 victory on the road, and that's where they've been most of the year, is on the road. Only 3 home games. This is their first home game since they played Cal State Fullerton over a month ago. And like we were talking about the scheduling conflict, they had 1 scrimmage at home in August. We're on the road until that first official home game versus Cal State Fullerton. And now this is the first time in a month they've been back at Benson Stadium. And luckily, they'll get one more next Sunday against Houston Christian.
It's always really difficult, especially on young players making that transition from high school into the college setting, taking on a little bit more of a workload from the academic side, and then your entire schedule is traveling. I mean, that's tough. And so I'm sure an academic himself, Coach Lara, is staying on top of them in that way. But it's also difficult whenever you start to find your starting 11. Only a few more players are able to travel for budget purposes. And so those players that aren't able to make it into, to the dressing out squad, they begin to develop more of a gap, and you begin to lose a little bit of chemistry when you're on the road the whole entire time. So these Cardinals are definitely making the best of it, but there are things there that will pop up, and they might have to still work through moving into the next season.
Going back to their win against Santa Clara, started off the scoring from Francisco Segura in the 28th minute. Was assisted from Victor Velasco, who scored the game-winning goal in the 81st minute. 2-1 victory. Not many times the Cardinals have scored multiple goals. Early in the season, they were shut out their first 5 out of 6 before being able to find the net a little more often. Just have not done it consistent enough, which shows in their 1-11 record. But when we talked to Kiki Lara before, he said this team is much better than the record appears.
Yes, he mentioned they had almost doubled their scoring opportunities coming out of preseason at the beginning of the year. And a lot of that just comes down to, finding that chemistry in the attacking third. And then, again, as these young strikers try to, take on the keeper, it sometimes just takes a little bit of practice. And when you're playing at the college level, it's much faster paced. There's more intensity. They're typically, bigger bodies because they've had time to build the muscle. And so sometimes it just takes a little bit of time, keeping your nerves and your cool under that kind of pressure as a freshman.
These are going to be most likely be a very low-scoring battle, as Utah Tech only has 8 goals on the year. Don't create many chances, only 104 shots, 36 of those being on goal, compared to a little bit more aggressive Cardinal team, 155 shots, 56 of those on frame. Chance outside the box for the Trailblazers. Cardinals do a nice job of staying compact there, making it tough on Utah Tech, as that one will go out of bounds for a goal kick.
There seems to be really good ball movement from both teams. Not a ton of missed touches. First touches are looking good. Pace on the ball is looking good. And I think it's just a really evenly matched team. I saw some nice tiki-taka from the Trailblazers there just a minute ago, building out of the back and really working out of pressure. And I think that's really impressive from a young squad as well. Just, you know, speed of play is everything. And sometimes that's the kind of thing that takes these freshmen a minute to develop, just to kind of, I guess, adjust to that speed of play.
Utah Tech now. The ball in there, defending third. Trying to go long. Coming down the near side. Larson Rogers with the left foot. Good save there from Hugo Constant. Punches that one out.
Fantastic work there. That was definitely a quick reaction on Hugo's part. Full body stretch out to the right, palming that ball away. And again, a great cut from the outside there from the Trailblazers. Putting that onto his left foot was Larson Rogers, again, sophomore. Working to lead the way here for shots on goal for the Trailblazers tonight.
Has 1 goal on the year. 7 shots, 3 of those on goal coming into tonight's match. Great first chance there from the Trailblazers, and an even better save there from Constant, who is one of those, another freshman for the Cardinals, trying to get him some playing time now. Hugo Constant getting his 5th start of the year, saving shots at a .714 average. Cardinals now with the ball in the box with the left foot, and not enough pace there to get it past the goalkeeper in Grant. Celatipoko with the left foot there, shot on goal.
Celatipoko is one of those players that kind of stood out to us early on. He has a great knack for just being really deeply connected to the offense as well as his back line. He moves really, really well through the middle of the field. And as you saw there, he had just an opportunity that didn't have just enough pace on it.
Just over 15 minutes have passed here in the match. 0-0 tie between the Trailblazers and Cardinals. Cardinals' 2nd home game of the year. Trying to find their first win at home. They lost 2-1 to Cal State Fullerton. A game where they had 2 or 3 goals taken off the board, couple to an offsides penalty. Little controversial, but nonetheless, the Titans of Fullerton ended up pulling that one out. Cardinals playing with the ball on that far sideline, and they'll have a throw-in.
Another player worth honorable mention is UIW Cardinals' 22 best Amena, again, he is one of those players who has a great knack for keeping the team really connected. Seems to be in the right places the right time, and you can tell where, with his junior presence, has this leadership energy on the field, commands the field. You can see him, pointing his finger, communicating with people, and I'm sure that that's something that this young team really looks up to.
Junior college transfer from the College of DuPage. First year, the COVID year, spent here at UIW. He was named to the WAC all-freshman team. One of those few players with plenty of experience for the Cardinals. Turns the ball over there, but quickly regains it.
Nice little touch and distribution down the line. Great job working to move into some space there, as you can tell how to recover the ball a bit. Fantastic footwork there from Victor Velasco, one of the seniors on the team, one of the few seniors here making his presence known. You can see how he kind of commands the ball with his feet. An opportunity here in the box, but can they do anything with it?
Cleared away there from Blaine Chambers. Celo de Poco got it in the box. Unable to get a shot off, though. Both teams have been able to work the ball into the box. Not many shots for either squad, as the only shot has come off the left foot of Larson Rogers.
You can see their Bestamena trying to communicate with the ref that ball went out, and it looks like that worked almost to his advantage there, but I guess they're actually going to be taking a penalty there.
Foul there on Emena. Jared Allen to take the free kick. Plays it into the box, and Constant comes out and secures the catch there.
Great work again by him, just coming up to meet the ball versus letting the ball kind of come down. And sometimes that's easy to do when you have a little bit of space, but it's always good to practice meeting the ball as high as you can as a keeper.
Allen tried to go back post and find a trailblazer there. Just unable to find a man in red. Trailblazers been on the little bit more of the attack. And foul there, drawn by Barnaby Lopez. Little trip there from Kyle Walbrook. Walbrook, 1 goal and 1 assist on the year. Another freshman from Highland, Utah. And another whistle. Referee talking to a Cardinal there, wanting Anthony Vargas to knock it off. See there, little smile there from Vargas. So all's good. Plays the ball in from midfield, trying to find a Cardinal in the box. And Trailblazers will clear it out, but not before a Cardinal corner. First corner for either side. And that one sails out of bounds.
It's a good idea there from the guys. Take their time moving in, get a little closer. Maybe had there been a little bit more of a chip, or possibly had their teammates picked up on that service a little bit earlier, they could have made a run in and got somewhere near the end of it. Another opportunity here.
Willie Aguilar to take the corner. Goes far post again. Off the head and easily controlled by Cuba Grant. Victor Velasco unable to get anything on that header. So just about halfway through the first half. No score from either team. Former conference opponents playing a non-conference battle now. Utah Tech leads the series 2-0. Last time they played in San Antonio was a 2-1 victory for the Trailblazers. And foul there. And the Cardinals will get the ball. A little too much contact there from Kyle Walbrook. Trying to present himself. Vargas cutting through the defense, just unable to find any Cardinal on the opposite side of his pass. Through the first 25 minutes, what have you seen, Katie?
Well, great ups there from number 17, Dylan Navarro. I mean, great job getting up there. It created a quick turnover, quick transition there for the Cardinals. Now, one thing I'm noticing is just a really evenly matched back lines on both sides. I mean, that's why you're seeing so much of the game being played in the middle of the field, and a lot of, just intensity met in both attacking thirds, because both back lines are doing a great job of reading the attacks.
Abe Ashby draws the whistle there. Had Grant well out of goal, just unable to control the ball there as he drew a whistle. Cardinal that has a goal on the year, very close to grabbing his second with that opportunity. Good move there from Taylor Rogers. Aggressive defense there. Good pass there to Rogers. Both teams doing a good job reversing the ball side to side. This ball goes to the far sideline, played into the box and off a Cardinal, and a corner kick now for the Trailblazers.
Great step there from Anthony Vargas. As you see here, that nice little spin move that allows him to build into the space and recycle that ball, flipping it to the other side.
Nice little nutmeg right there. Taylor Rogers set to take the corner for the Trailblazers. Plays it off his right foot, and Ashby gets up and heads it away for the Cardinals. And Cardinals now take control. looking to run. And they'll have a throw-in now.
Not a bad move there from Julian Herrera. Sometimes it is best to just be simple, tap the ball out, and give your team a chance to get back and reset. And looks like the Cardinals are on the move here, doing a great job of finding passing lanes. And this is something that I tend to find in men's soccer versus women's soccer, or at least around similar collegiate levels, that that a lot of the men's teams do a really great job of having that constant movement, finding constant open passing lanes.
Doesn't get as stagnant.
Right.
Pretty even offensively so far. UIW leads the game with corners, 2-1 advantage, while Utah Tech has more shots and shots on goal, with that best look coming from Larson Rogers. He has the ball now as they swing it to the far side, get it to his brother, trying to make a move inside the box. And solid defense there.
Not a bad idea to send that ball back, try to recycle it. He didn't really have a ton of options being camped out there in the corner. He had one or two white jerseys there in his way. It was going to be a tough one to get through. So the idea was there, and you could see that driven long ball into the third, the attacking third, was meant to be found by the end of a diagonal run. And sometimes when you're a young team, you haven't had the time together to really pick up on that kind of chemistry and telepathy, so to speak, that is needed in the game of soccer. Now, I find this interesting that both teams have a very horizontal style of play. They're both doing a great job of using the full width of the field, trying to pick up something off crosses. Not a ton of direct play aside from that moment there, which, as you can see, was cleared by the Trailblazers. It seems to be a little bit more beneficial for both teams to play on the ground, that tiki-taka style of play we had mentioned before. And it's just going to be one of those games where it's going to be a lot of back and forth in the midfield, and it's going to take pretty much a lapse of judgment or a quick breakaway for someone to have a real opportunity at goal.
Foul there from Timothy Ospina. A little too much contact. Trying to meet the ball there. As we mentioned, both teams in a little bit of a rebuild mode, but for head coach Johnny Broadhead, it's definitely a little bit more of a transition as they go from the Division II level to the Division I level. In each of his 3 years, or 3 years in the WAC, they have continually gotten better. 3 and 6 in his inaugural season in the WAC, and then they finished 4-13 and 1 in the WAC last year. Looking to try and get another win and build that program. Had a great debut season there in 2017.
Look at that fancy footwork there from Bestamina. He was trying to go in and take that space. That's a great little fake there, and of course, the only thing to delay somebody in a breakaway is a foul at times, and that's what we just saw there.
As we mentioned, best season under Coach Broadhead, 12-5 in 2017. Went 8-5 in the Pacific West Conference.
The W substitution in the 30th minute, entering the game, number 30.
Trying to find some more wins. It's been a little bit of a struggle, but understandably, as when you go from the Division II to Division I level, there's just a different sense of competitiveness and athleticism with those athletes.
Absolutely true. And I do have to mention, what a great job the Trailblazers backline just did there. It's so often that you see these outside backs start to get lazy, but instead you saw both outside backs sprint to the chalk, made themselves available and open, created a ton of more vertical space there for the Trailblazers and helped them to kind of build out of the back in that way. And so often, as you're watching the game or even as a player, it's hard to remember that, defense starts with offense, but also offense starts with defense by moving your body into those positions, and that's exactly what they just did there.
Long ball there for the Trailblazers, just out of the reach of Oliver Stone, midfielder from Portland, Oregon. Had a good look just over his head and out of his reach.
Oliver Stone also has one recorded assist on the season, so I always like to say, everybody wants to watch out for the guys who are scoring goals, but I want to watch out for the guys who have assists, because it's just as important to have a play creator as it is a play finisher.
Vargas gets the ball back in play here. Cardinals with the chance. Ashby goes down, and we will have a a free kick, not in the box, just outside the 18.
Not looking too good, holding his leg there. It looks like he's back up, walking it off. Bit of a limp. Also looked like he kind of got pushed down even after the knock he received on his leg, and that's most likely where the call came from over everything. Again, here, the Cardinals have a great opportunity to take the lead. 10-plus minutes to spare.
3 Cardinals line up around the ball. Timothy Ospina, as well as Victor Velasquez. Velasquez left-footed on the right, but looks like it'll be Ospina with his right foot. Goes for goal, and great save there from Cuba Grant. Tried to go near post 90, and read well there by Cuba Grant.
He might have also just put too much of a bend on it. I think in that position, it looks really nice in that opposite upper 90, and sometimes they try to bend it into the opposite upper 90, and it might have just curved back too much. It seemed like an easy save there for Cuba Grant tonight. But again, just as important as the rest of the game are those set pieces, practicing that muscle memory, which is all very doable. It's not like just because you had a bad set piece or maybe you haven't been great at them in the past that you can't improve that. That specific skill set is based almost entirely on muscle memory and practice and repetition.
Would you still consider that a bad set piece compared to like a ball that is over the bar?
No, not at all. At least this one was on frame. It had some power behind it. So it had the keeper possibly bobbled it, had the keeper been shorter, it had gone through the keeper's hands, that could have worked out. I'll take a shot on frame versus over the post any day.
Cardinals threatening now in the attacking third. Velasco on the near sideline. Good give and go here.
Nice fake, great movement in the attacking third. I was gonna say it looked a little bit offsides, and great eyes there from the lineman. As you can see, he's just about one step off into that offside zone. Great idea though, because I mean, you can see here that the Cardinals are beginning to get some of their momentum there in the attacking third. Maintain possession there for a bit, right after a free kick, but again, we have the Trailblazers back on the other half.
Now they pull it back out, try to work it around, and ball just given up there from Larson Rogers, unable to keep the ball on his foot. And whistle there.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of jersey pulling going on. Lots of physicality in this game, which is honestly a basic core tenet of the game. If you're not being physical and aggressive, then the rest is a lot more difficult to get done. So got to give him some credit there where it's due. At least he's wanting the ball, fighting for it there.
Another look at the save here.
Yeah, I could see a little bend there, and it does look like he was most likely going for that near side upper 90. I feel like if you are going to go for the near side, it has to have a little more power, more of a direct hit, less of a bend. The more it bends, sometimes the keeper, or if it's lofted, the keeper has time to adjust and move to where they need to be.
It's not all about the looks, it's about getting it in the back of the net.
That's right. Although the looks are cool. I mean, there's a whole entire movie called, named Bend It Like Beckham. So it is really nice when you see someone bend it in. It's just full-on golazo, and everybody talks about it for the whole week. And so I get it.
Wasn't David Beckham, though, I think he was left-footed, wasn't he, though?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
I think it looks better off a left foot anyway. It just lefties. It just more appealing.
Lefties are the weirdos. Not many people have a dominant left foot. I will say. Anytime I meet someone who I'm like, you're left-footed. That's cool. I mean, you kind of have to know how to use both, right? But everyone has a dominant foot.
I mean, me being me, I'm the only type of lefties I don't like because it looks awkward are quarterbacks, but lefty pitchers, lefty golf swingers, I think they all there's just so much more pure.
Something really unique about their style and ability. I think Ginobili was left-handed.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. He's
Hall of Famer.
Favorite athlete on the face of the earth. So.
Exactly. Here in San Antonio, we loved Manu Ginobili, the best lefty the Spurs have ever had. Goal kick now for the Trailblazers. Just about 5 minutes remain. Still a scoreless game here. Both teams have had a couple chances, but good goalkeeping from the Cardinal Constant and Trailblazer Grant have kept this game at a stalemate.
I think the Trailblazers do such a great job defensively in the center part of the field that it makes it really hard to capitalize on a direct style of play. I think you see a lot of movement going to the edges of the field horizontally, again, trying to get crosses in, but I'd be interested to see what would happen if the Cardinals could get a really direct, low-driven ball into the feet of one of their strikers and then find some movement off of that. You don't always have to go wide, and sometimes it begins to get a little bit predictable if you can continue going to the corners of the field.
Velasco throws that one into the box, punched out by Grant. Still in Cardinal possession.
Tough ball to control there.
Still not out of harm's way for the Trailblazers as Larson Rogers tries to run that one past. Cardinals maintain possession here. Doing a good job fighting for the ball, and we'll have a foul there.
My goodness, only a matter of time. He had a couple of guys give him a full-on bear hug for a minute there until he finally fell to the ground. Timothy Ospina pulling that one there for the Cardinals.
Foul there on Guillermo. Bianchi. Say that one 3 times. Junior from Italy. Love to go to Milan, Italy. Maybe he can take me one of these times.
Oh man, Italy would be the place to go for sure. That's definitely on my bucket list of places to see.
Free kick for the Cardinals. Indirect, sent into the box, and no one on the other side of that one. Ball in came from number 30. Just now 2 minutes and some change left in the first half. Scoreless draw so far. Neither team able to find it past the opposing goalkeeper. Gonna have to find a little bit more creativity and finesse, as both goalkeepers have been pretty spot on all game long.
Yes, spot on, but also not too difficultly challenged. I think the biggest challenge came from that shot against Hugo Constant earlier in the half, that having to dive and palm the ball away, giving a corner kick opportunity. But I think in that situation he did the best that he could. Otherwise, I think most of the shots on goal haven't been too entirely dangerous.
1 minute.
1 minute remains. Trailblazers controlling the ball here. Trying to find a late goal at the end of the half. Got some space off a left foot, and over the crossbar there is Anthony Godinez.
Not a bad idea there. It looked like he had touched the ball out in front of him, and he just took that hit a little too soon. Chest was up, went over the bar. Maybe had he given it about half a second more to get a little further in front of him, he could have had his chest over the ball, hit that with some laces. But there's a couple opportunities there, too, where Utah Tech might have been able to just chip the ball in and put it backside. But I think they're so used to this tiki-taka game and keeping the ball on the ground and clean that sometimes it's easy to forget about those opportunities.
And that is the horn to signal the end of the first half. Scoreless here between the Trailblazers and Cardinals. Katie, quick thoughts on the first half.
Yeah, again, an evenly matched game, something we knew going into this. The back line is doing a fantastic job on both sides. So what that means is both offensive parts of these teams are going to have to just get a little more creative, change things up. And you can see where they're both playing a beautiful game, using full space on the field. Great first touches for the most part. I think the only thing that's really going to turn this game over is just, winning those 50-50s. They're doing great getting into the transition quickly, and it's just adding a little extra something. And whoever can find that and figure that out, I think is the way the tables are going to turn. But right now, it's looking like a 0-0 game, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if it continues that way into the second half.
Here at halftime, Utah Tech 0, UIW 0. Will be back after a little halftime break here from Benson Stadium. You are listening and watching ESPN College Soccer.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to New Tech and the Tri.
Cause I'm a natural born hustler. Just like my mama said, hard times they go away. Natural born hustler. When the world wants you to sink or swim, I ain't gonna go.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
The B1 Performance Patch elevates physical functions by transforming carbs into glucose used to fuel the body. Don't compete without it. Visit buyb1.com or on social media at B1Patch.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. Ticket Smarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the Ticket Smarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think Ticket Smarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at ticketsmarter.com.
When we say no store does more, it's because our market partners and in-store certified meat cutters do more every single day. Prepping, cutting, and grinding beef fresh in store. So that literally only the best makes the cut. Because when we do more, backyard cookouts are more legendary. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Cause I'm a natural born hustler. Just like my mama said, hard times they go away. Natural born hustler. When the world wants you to sink or swim, I ain't gonna go.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
The B1 Performance Patch elevates physical functions by transforming carbs into glucose used to fuel the body. Don't compete without it. Visit buyb1.com or on social media at B1Patch.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. Ticket Smarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the Ticket Smarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think Ticket Smarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at ticketsmarter.com.
When we say no store does more, it's because our market partners and in-store certified meat cutters do more every single day. Prepping, cutting, and grinding beef fresh in store, so that literally only the best makes the cut. Because when we do more, backyard cookouts are more legendary. No store does more than my H-E-B. When we say no store does more, it's because our market partners and in-store certified meat cutters do more every single day. Prepping, cutting, and grinding beef fresh in store, so that literally only the best makes the cut. Because when we do more, backyard cookouts are more legendary. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Back here under the lights at Benson Stadium here in San Antonio, Texas, 0-0 against the UIW and Utah Tech Trailblazers. And Katie, obviously stalemate so far, but very evenly played game from both sides.
Yes, I mean, look at this. Almost the same in corner kicks, same in shots on goal. Fouls, though. Utah Tech leading the way, 8 fouls, UIW 3. I mean, it's a really, really evenly matched game. It's one of those games that's difficult to even really fully assess because both teams are doing a great job. It's not, one team's dominating and it's purely because they can't put the ball in the back of the net. Both teams are giving a really quality display tonight.
Yeah, both teams are playing very, very similar and trying to get back to some winning ways. Obviously, UIW winning their last game, and then Utah Tech trying to find the win column once again. Take a look at some highlights here from the first half. Great save here from the keeper, Cuba Grant.
Good effort there also from Timothy Ospina. And it's, I think, rare opportunities that you're going to get in this game to have a set piece so close to the goal. So I'm sure he's not feeling too great after that. But who knows? We have a whole nother 45 minutes to go. And as you can see here, both teams have spent some time in the attacking third. Not a bad look there from Best Amena. I mean, just the effort on both sides has been fantastic, moving quickly into transition, spreading the field, crosses in. As we had said before the half, we just need to see a little bit more creativity in that attacking third from either team, and it could turn the tables.
Just about 5 minutes left in halftime. We'll take another short break and get you ready for the second half between the Trailblazers and Cardinals. Still 0-0 here from the Alamo City.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Cause I'm a natural born hustler. Just like my mama said, hard times and they good way natural born hustler. When the world wants you to sink or swim, I ain't gonna go.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
The B1 Performance Patch elevates physical functions by transforming carbs into glucose used to fuel the body. Don't compete without it. Visit buyb1.com or on social media at B1Patch.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com.
When we say no store does more, it's because our market partners and in-store certified meat cutters do more every single day. Prepping, cutting, and grinding beef fresh in store. So that literally only the best makes the cut. Because when we do more, backyard cookouts are more legendary. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Back here at Benson Stadium, 0-0 tie between Utah Tech and UIW as we are about set to kick off the second half. And Katie, fall time means just about every sport is in season on this Saturday. You got baseball going on, you've got college football going on, you've got so many different sports. Hockey's just started, basketball's just started, just UIW alone. You kick it off with volleyball picking up a big win at Nichols, winning in straight sets there in the morning at 11 a.m. Then you come here at Benson Stadium where the UIW football team took down Faulkner University in a onslaught 70-0. Got to get my footballs right.
You've been talking too much soccer lately, Sam.
Yes, 70-0 victory for the Cardinals here, and now we've got a 0-0 tie here at Benson Stadium for men's soccer or some men's football. But looking at our alma maters where we went to school with some college football, A&M trails South Carolina at halftime 14-0, and Mississippi State, your Bulldogs, have to play Bama after a loss, so they're down 24-0 as they're halfway through the third quarter. So hopefully for us, maybe UIW will pull out another win and get things on our happy side, you know?
Yeah, to make amends for the Mississippi State game going on currently. I mean, it's not that bad going into the third quarter against a powerhouse like Bama, but I had higher hopes for State. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, maybe I can, these men's soccer players here at Cardinals and can just cheer me up.
And I mean, the Spurs obviously 1-1 now. They lost in a blowout to the Hornets, but got a big win there in Indiana. So
a win that nobody expected, and they had a 20-point lead that they almost lost. But I mean, they did it, and they also broke a couple of personal records with, between shots and free throws and rebounds and whatnot. So you can see where some of these veterans are picking up and trying to pick up the slack for the Spurs. But my goodness, yeah, it's definitely a rebuild season for them. And I think all you can do is, look at the positives for a new young team. I think they had mentioned for the Spurs that the collective age was actually younger than UTSA basketball right now.
UTSA basketball's average age was like 21 and the Spurs were like 23.
Yes, there you go. I flipped it. But yeah, that is so close enough. But, when you look at a team like the Spurs and they get beat really bad, at the NBA level, everybody wants to just tear them apart. But in reality, you just have to look at what they're doing well and hopefully, encourage these players to develop. And I think it's the same here for a game like this. You have a bunch of young players, and it's just, checking in with their individual talents, seeing where they can improve and seeing how they work together, using their strengths to their advantage. And here it's the passing game.
Two teams that are in a little bit of a transition mode, trying to rebuild and regain success for their programs as we're underway here in the second half. Quick opportunity for the Trailblazers as they get the ball into the box. Unable to get a shot on goal. Great counterattack by the Cardinals. Can they put it in the back of the net? And a great save, but it's in. A goal for the Cardinals. breaks the stalemate and gives the Cardinals a 1-0 lead here just under a minute into the second half.
Fantastic work from the Cardinals. I would love to see that play build up all over again. I mean, as you can see here, he just got on the end of a breakaway from a direct ball, something that they weren't doing in the last half. We had mentioned going into this that they really needed to give a spur of creativity, try something different, maybe lay off on all the crosses, and that's exactly what they did there. The quickest transition I think we've seen of the night, just catching the Trailblazers on the back of their heels. But again, I just do have to give some credit to Cuba Grant. He came out. The intention was there. It was that deflection that popped up over him and made its way into the goal, working to the Cardinals' advantage.
Eduardo Perez with the goal for the Cardinals. Second goal of the year, junior from Santander, Calabria.
That's a mouthful. Say that 5 times fast.
Santander Cavalria. Either way, Eduardo, or as they call him, Edu, breaks the tie and gives the Cardinals a 1-0 lead here early in the second half. Another chance now for the Trailblazers this time, and Constant able to stave that one away. Build a great wall there. As we take another look at this save from Constant, right off the face.
Edu Perez is one of those players who really made a name for himself last season. 5 goals, 2 assists, leading the team in points. And I think he's just one of those players who hasn't really been able to fully unleash his best talents. It's hard when you have some younger players in the mix and maybe they don't pick up in the same way that some of the veterans who had, moved on from last season possibly could have. So it's hard being an older player sometimes, working with younger players, trying to build that chemistry, but it looks like he made it work there. Of course, getting the Cardinals a point on the board, but now that we have the Trailblazers down a point early in this second half, it's going to be interesting to see how they react. They're already leading on the pitch with fouls. So typically when you're down, it kind of creates a sense of urgency.
Taking another look at that save there from Hugo Constant just moments after the Perez goal. And one of the things, though, with the Perez goal is it wasn't like it was a clean shot on goal. It was very much off the ricochet. Perez hit it. It was blocked, and it almost like ricocheted back off of him, flew through the air, and just ended up landing in the goal, and no one was able to get to save it.
Yeah, it's almost like a deflection on both parties. Deflected off the keeper, deflected off the foot of Perez, and just happened to work out in the end.
Ball in there from the Trailblazers. Headed away. Taylor Rogers tried to get it to a man in the middle. Utah Tech creating some chances, just unable to evade the goalie and Constant. Another good chance there, and good read there by Constant.
Lucky there that number 15, Kyle Walbrook, wasn't charged with cleats up into the keeper there. Sometimes, we know in the game of soccer, the keeper is always protected, just like they might protect the quarterback in football. And so this was a late run in. You could see had a little bit of cleats up, but those secure hands coming in from Hugo Constant saved the day.
As we've seen, the NFL has gotten very, very ticky-tacky with those roughing the passer calls, very much trying to protect the quarterbacks. Bouncing ball in the box, and a shot there goes wide left as Timothy Ospina tried to put a foot on that one as it was coming down.
Great effort there from Ospina. That's a lot harder than it looks, trying to control the ball out of the air and then send it in with a drive. Made it through some traffic and almost made its way to the goal, but, just shy of that post there.
Cardinals controlling the ball now. With that Perez goal, gives the Cardinals their 4th straight match with at least 1 goal. Scored 1 in the loss against San Jose State, 1 in the loss at Georgia State, and then 2 in the Cardinals' first win at Santa Clara. Definitely a team that's continued to build each and every game, as Kiki Lara had expressed a much better team than their record shows right now.
Yes, you can see here where they've created quite a few opportunities for themselves. It's just getting on the end of those, maybe, working on those finishing drills, which just come with time.
Utah Tech now trying to find an equalizer. Referee says play on. A lot of contact, and that one will draw a whistle, and it will draw a card. Yellow card there for Best Imena.
This guy has one heck of an engine. He's around almost every single play as one of those central midfielders. Yeah, that was a foul there that he did draw, but again, slowing down the play and the transition into the attack. But, I do have to hand it to Bestamina. He's involved, as I said, in almost every single play made on the field. A battery that doesn't run down, if you will.
Guillermo Bianchi to take the free kick. Referee trying to cut out some foul play there. And that service headed away by Bestimena. Not a very good service there from Bianchi.
Yeah, he needed a little bit more leverage on that one. Clear past the head of Bestamina, but that's exactly why Amena was in that position to clear the easy and obvious ball.
Trailblazers working it down the near sideline into the box and cleared away.
Looking like a knock there for Anthony Godinez. He had a nice little pump fake, but bodied just a bit there by Bennett Carlson.
And he's slow to get up there, grabbing his left knee. Gonna need a trainer.
Really not too good when you see players kind of swaying back and forth like that, showing signs of some serious pain. Let's see if we can find where possibly that knock occurred. It looks like his cleat might have gotten tangled up with Bennett Carlson's there and landing just outside the pitch. There's also that track type material just only a few feet off the pitch. I'm wondering if maybe something happened there as he landed, but that's the thing about soccer, these players, they're so strong in so many parts of their legs, and just one little tweak can really throw things off, because a lot of players do have really loose knees because they have to be able to open their hips and even open their knees to certain degrees to ensure that certain passes can get through. And that's why you see a lot of these soccer players with so many knee injuries. So while it may not look terribly bad like a blowout, it could be a simple tweak that could result in a sprain, and who knows. Again, not a doctor, hate to speculate, but typically that's what goes through the minds of soccer players when you see someone go down and it doesn't look like their knee was just totally fully blown out.
Right. And he's up and walking around the pitch. So a little bit of a good sign there. Trailblazers still with an opportunity. Service into the box. Headed away and controlled there by the Cardinal Perez. I was going to even say and kind of wonder, was it even maybe because he was trying to flick it with his left foot, and it didn't look like he necessarily got anything on it. Is there a possibility that he could overextend that left knee?
Oh, for sure.
And trying to hit the ball there?
Yeah, a bit of a hyperextension there. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes with... Oh, I've hyperextended my knee before. I actually hyperextended it kicking the ball once, just all by myself, because I'm that cool, just take myself out of the game. And then also my knee hit another person's knee in a challenge, and my leg hyperextended. So yeah, it happens more than you know, and especially with really hyperactive quads, which most players do. Yeah, that can happen easily.
Again, don't want to speculate, but just interesting to note that. Never, especially when you watch everything in instant replay and you can go frame by frame and see just how gruesome some of these injuries are.
Oh, yeah.
That ball is run out of bounds there. Good defense by Gavin Coe on Edu Perez.
One of the players on the squad who also has a goal under his belt this season, getting back to help in the defense.
Trailblazers working a long ball in. Now coming near side. Moving quickly. Start to slow it down now. Taking their time. Good middle pass, back heel kick, and just unable to find that extra sense of creativity and finesse that you need.
For a minute there, it looked like a really dangerous opportunity. I thought he was going to run onto that ball and then just have a left-footed shot opposite lower 90, but he did the heel back, and Cardinals defense was just in the right spot at the right time to make that really difficult for the Trailblazers.
Ball in there, cleared away by the
replay here as he sends it in. Great ball there. I would have loved to see possibly number 15 Santiago Ruiz take that on himself. Maybe some sort of a fake possible Meg there in that situation. Still not a bad idea with the heel back, but you have so much momentum with a really strong diagonal like that.
There's that back heel kick again, and whistle on the Cardinals. Free kick for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, it's always tough when you're coming from behind like that. It really doesn't look great. Even if it is all ball, it doesn't look great.
Gonna get a little stoppage here as the referee talks to the captain, Anthony Vargas, about a possible delay of game warning. Cardinals wouldn't give the ball to the Trailblazers. Kind of that cat and mouse game that soccer players love to play.
Oh yeah, it's a space game and a time game, and if you can run out that clock when you've got the lead, it just increases your chances of keeping that lead. But sometimes it backfires when there's a late goal, and dang, I wish I had those 5 minutes I wasted earlier in the match.
Those 10 to 15 seconds you waste all add up.
Yep.
Especially with the running clock. Clock only stops for cards and goals. Good run in there into the box. Running out of real estate and deflected out of bounds. Dylan Navarro on the defense as he tried to take on Dunes Neeson. And a corner for the Trailblazers.
Good effort there from Dunes Nielsen. Right place at the right time. Had there been a little more pace on the ball, he might have been able to beat that defender. Also, that first touch he took kind of brought the ball back, and at least he made it work to his advantage here, getting the corner kick, which is about to pop off.
Headed away by a Cardinal and cleared by Imena. Trailblazers working it on that back line. Turn it over there. Now a Cardinal opportunity and unable to keep that one in bounds.
You can see the Cardinal mentality is, coming with the high press. Here's this replay again. Bessie Mena making that clearance. It's always good when you can, on the defensive side, at least win that 50-50 situation. But as I had mentioned, it's looking like that goal has put a little bit of wind in the sails for the Cardinals. They're high pressing the keeper, and there were a couple turnovers here and there coming from their back line, which slowed them down a bit. But there's, I feel like, a renewed sense of confidence from this team.
Trailblazers in control now. Moving it into the Cardinal half of the pitch. And great job there by Navarro as he steals that one away from a cutting Trailblazer. Abby Gomez almost on the receiving end of that service into the box. And whistle there. Too much contact between Barnaby Lopez and Blaine Chambers.
3-on-1, definitely great job drawing the foul there. It's pretty much the only situation, the only benefit you could pull from that situation is either drawing a foul or trying to get the ball out of bounds and into your team's possession. And I think that, a player like Barnaby Lopez, he's in his grad year, and he's played the game, he's been around, he knows what works.
Just over 60 minutes played here. UIW with a 1-0 lead over Utah Tech. Goal comes off of the foot of Edu Perez, tallying his second goal of the year.
Looks like we've got Abe Ashby now back in the mix for the Cardinals, pointing fingers, communicating. Apparently there's some sort of change occurring here for the Cardinals in this moment.
Trailblazers reversing the field here. Trying to find an equalizer.
Bestamena again with the footwork. Just having that quick mentality, knowing how to get out of those congested spots. I think that's one of the things he seems to be best at, not only staying connected with the offense and the defense, just being that wall pass at times, but also when he is receiving the ball, despite how difficult it is, he's really good at figuring out how to open up into space, or just using his footwork to get around and win those 1v1 battles.
Despite being a little smaller in stature at 5'4", definitely poses and plays much bigger than that. Very tough to get around him.
That it is. Again, very clinical in the attack and also a great defender, which is exactly what you want in the center of the field. Communicator, defender, gets out of pressure well. Clearly a standout for the Cardinals.
Yellow card given out. Cannot tell who it was given to. See if the live stats will update quick enough. Either way, free kick for the Trailblazers. And shot goes well right, and Constant will pick that one up with ease.
It's a nice clearance there from an outside back. Nice quick movement into the attack, but again, getting picked up by Cardinals defense.
And a corner now for Utah Tech. Dunes Nielsen to take the corner. Places it on his left foot and headed away by the Cardinal defense.
Look at that high press forcing the Trailblazers to go all the way back to their keeper.
Great hustle there from Adu Perez. Now it's Nielsen on the far side, plays it into the box, and Cardinals get a foot on it, and Amina right there to win the ball back.
Again with his little spin move that really helps him to open up into space.
Nielsen again fighting on that far side.
Nielsen for me also is one of those players to watch, sitting at the top of the team, 3 assists, total of 3 points. He's actually tied for second for points on the team with Kyle Walbrook. Another impressive player here who you might see receive the ball is number 3, Blaine Chambers, who actually is 3rd on the team for minutes played. Junior making his way in from Salt Lake Community College.
Here's Nielsen at the top of the box, off the left foot, and just straight at Constant. And he finally secures it. Another look here at the shot and save. Just about 25 minutes remain here in tonight's match. And it's all been separated by Adu Perez with a quick goal at the beginning of the second half. Mishandled there from Grant, and finally able to secure it now. Definitely scary, as Abe Ashby was in the area and almost had a chance to double the Cardinal lead.
It's always unlucky when you find your keeper kind of babbling the ball a little bit in the back, but lucky for him, he was able to secure that one. Sometimes it happens. It's just difficult to really get your hands on it. As you can see here, ball is lobbed in the air, and looks like it hit his chest before it got to his hands, and that's kind of where that broke down there in that moment. But lucky for him, as we said, there weren't a ton of Cardinals there to wreak havoc and take advantage of that situation.
And that's the reason he is playing soccer and not football.
There you go.
He's not a wide receiver.
I'm sure it would be hard to be a wide receiver with those keeper gloves, those big old thick gloves.
You don't think they put stickum on it or anything?
I think they do put stickum on it for the keepers, and I know they do that for wide receivers, right?
Yeah, the wide receiver gloves are about as sticky as could be.
But their gloves are thin. They're just like regular gloves with sticky, but the keeper gloves, if you look at them, I mean, they could punch somebody and they wouldn't feel it.
Very true, very true.
Kind of like bare hands.
Utah Tech with possession, trying to find a goal to equalize the match at 1.
Well, both teams are doing a great job of keeping that pace on the ball. Sometimes you can see where on both sides that first touch is a bit of a struggle, and in a game like this with this kind of a fast-paced environment that's equally matched, sometimes that's the difference, is the first touch. The difference between, who starts to slowly, take the game over a little more or possibly win a goal. It's those little turnovers in the middle of the field that make it difficult.
By the way the game's gone, you would have thought that there's been a lot of chances, and just from a shot standpoint, it doesn't seem the same way. Another opportunity as the ball goes into the box. Utah Tech, right foot and right at constant. Another sure-handed save as Bianchi's right foot finds the middle of Constant's chest.
All of that started with a chip over the back line, him running onto it, and then having to take a cut over to the right. And I think you could see there, too, where, again, possibly going for the opposite 90 and just doesn't connect with it the way that he wanted to. But, yeah, you bring up an interesting point, because it seems like there would be way more shots on goal after watching a game like this. But in reality, it's only 3 for Utah Tech and 2 for the Cardinals. And I think that's because you see so much of the play progression happening in both of their attacking third with this game.
Every shot taken today has been on frame. So when they've taken shots, they've been of good quality. It's just the way that the game's gone for both sides. They've been able to penetrate and create chances, just not resulting in the number of shots you would think in a game like this.
Yeah, they're just so evenly matched in so many ways. Their back line, similar approach. Their attacking players bringing a similar approach. I mean, it's almost like, you could probably split this team into 2 and it might be a similar result, just because their playing styles are so similar. The age is similar. The way they're moving into the attack and kind of possessing and baking it, as they say, as they try to move in. Like I said, it's good soccer. It's just an evenly matched team. And I think I had said earlier on, it's going to take a lapse of judgment or a quick breakaway for one of these players to score, and that's exactly what happened for the Cardinals at the beginning of the half. But again, 22 minutes. We have a little bit of stoppage time here, just kind of hanging out. Not totally sure what this is about. I guess there's a sub in the process.
Captain Anthony Vargas was down at the time. He's back up and on the UIW bench.
Got Joel Perez, freshman, coming in his place.
So Constant to send it away. Finds Abe Ashby and unable to control the pass. And another whistle. Foul this time on Taylor Rogers. Didn't like the call there. He went up to head the ball.
Seemed like all ball. Seemed like a fair play to me. So I can understand his sentiments. That, on the other hand,
not all ball.
Not all ball.
Foul there on Ospina. Larson Rogers up now after the foul. Turnover there by the Trailblazers. Ashby off the right foot and just misses. And was the flag up? It was indeed. Either way.
I guess it would have been an offsides either way, but you still want to definitely take advantage of those opportunities. Sometimes a faux goal feels just like a real one. So even if it's called back, it feels good to just know that ball connected to the foot properly and found its way into the back of the net, but it looked like it just kind of buckled a little bit. Just wasn't a full connection and went out to the side and over.
Mass substitution for both the Cardinals and Trailblazers.
Number 19, Joel Bettis. Vargas for Bettis in the 69th minute.
2 substitutes for Utah Tech and 3 new UIW players in the game. Just under 20 minutes remain. UIW with a 1-0 lead, trying to start another streak of their own. Take their winning streak from 1 to 2. Ball in the box. Can they get a shot on goal? And just saved there.
Ooh, barely saved.
Celo Dipoco found Abe Ashby right at the front post. And Grant was able to somehow corral that one.
Yeah, that one looked really close. He was there, ready for it.
Good sell there from Celo Dipoco. And that one goes out of bounds. Another look at the Cardinal chance.
Great work in delaying him there. Oh, and it went off the thigh onto the post. And, man, had Cuba Grant just not had the wherewithal to get his hand up and stay focused even on the ground, I mean, that ball very much could have gone in. And so big thanks, I think, should come from Utah Tech for their keeper there on that one. And also some credit there to the Cardinals. I think once, you get up into the attack and you start getting really delayed, it's almost next to impossible to feed that ball through the traffic, and it was a very close call there.
Cardinals trying to work out of the back. Turn it over. Larson Rogers. They swing it to the far side. Nielsen with the chip. And the flag goes up either way. Constant able to corral that one, but offsides either way.
Chip into the box, of course, hoping someone would run onto it, but those chips sometimes are easy to read by the keepers. But good on him for being quick off his line, coming in with sure hands. It's really all you can ask from your keeper in those situations. Again, looks like he was challenged in that moment, giving him some even further possession of that ball. But, there was a moment there just before they had switched the ball over to take the cross in. I think there were 3 or 4 red jerseys paired up with another 3 or 4 white jerseys, making it a really evenly matched situation as they moved into the attacking third. But what they did was they delayed, and it gave the Cardinals a ton of time to kind of get back and made it a bit of an disadvantage to try to get into the goal after that. So I think when you look back at those situations and you realize, hey, there's a lot more red jerseys here in this final third than there have been, you kind of want to, move with as much speed as possible with the people that you have up there.
Another couple chances for the Trailblazers. Come up empty. Nielsen got in the box. Couldn't do anything with it. And then a long cross into the far post. Clobbered by Hugo Constant. Another look at the long ball here.
Great read and good movement there from the keeper.
Just about a little over 15 and a half minutes to play. UIW in control with a 1-0 lead. trying to get their first win at home. Chance here, and just too many touches for Tipoko. Unable to get a shot off. Now a counterattack from the Trailblazers. It's Larson Rogers, crosses it. Oh! Just a little behind his fellow Trailblazer.
Really unfortunate there for Utah Tech. I mean, the breakaway, he might have even had that opportunity himself, but he had his teammate coming in with speed, and man, that looked like it was going to be detrimental, but lucky for Hugo Constant to just not have to defend that situation, because it would not have been great for him had that ball gone in front of the runner's feet.
Nielsen into the box, unable to get a shot off, poked away, still in the box, sent across, finds a Cardinal head, goes all the way to the far sideline. Trailblazers still dangerous, and a great shot and a great save from Hugo Constant. Great shot there, but a better save from Constant.
Wowza. I think that might be the shot and the save of the night. Getting mad ups, popping that ball over the crossbar. That ball came with fire, as you see there. Putting it onto his left, making it really difficult for the keeper. He had that line of sight. Fantastic work there from Utah Tech.
Corner from Utah Tech, and Constant comes off his line, punches that away. Still dangerous, and cleared away. Looked like it was Carlos Vargas with the last shot on goal for the Trailblazers. And just one more look at it.
On to the left, into the keeper with power. Again, fantastic save. Quite the equal match tonight.
Foul called there on number 34, Abby Gomez. Cardinals taking their time as the clock goes. Ticks under 13 minutes remaining.
Working to settle it here.
Abe Ashby controlling it with his feet, but nothing doing. Trailblazers now still looking for an equalizer. Have had chances. Just a good job in goal by the freshman keeper, Hugo Constant.
That's some great movement there. Good idea. Trying to feed it into the feet of the striker, drop it, and then get a chip in. And here's a breakaway. It's clearly offsides, but the intent is there. And, you know, I think you can see where this sense of urgency is really beginning to pick up for both teams. And sometimes when you get that sense of urgency, you lose at times a little bit of composure. That's why you see balls bobbling around. It's not, you know, too much clean driven passes. There's a couple of moments there, you know, had the Cardinals taken a one touch into the goal, he could have had another shot on goal there.
Edu Perez comes back into the game for Willie Aguilar. Aguilar, San Antonio native, went to Lee High School, and one of those older players with experience. They trade experience for experience as Perez makes his name known there in the middle with the foul. Also making his name known in the stat sheet with the first and only goal of the game. Trailblazers trying to reverse it and unable to, as Larson's pass goes to a empty-handed Hugo Constant.
You can see here that Hugo Constant was taking his sweet, sweet time, hoping to round down those final 10-ish minutes left in this half, putting it back in the mix. Again, I do love how both teams seem to be really connected to each other. You know, amongst their individual rosters. Ooh, that could have been a really good run had their center back not intercepted that pass. But as you can see here, the intention's there, the idea's there. You can feel the team chemistry on both sides. Great job using defenders, feeding the ball through the center of the field, up into the attack.
Throwing now for the Trailblazers. Another look at that interception. Trailblazers get it in play as clock now under 8. Whistle and foul on the Trailblazers and give Cardinals a free kick and plenty of time to waste now.
For a minute there, I thought they were going to call a handball on Bettis, but
they go down the near sideline to Barnaby Lopez. And left foot strike. And he got a lot of power on that, but gobbled up by Grant. Great left foot hit and shot on goal from Celo DePoco.
That kind of ability really is impressive. And while that one didn't go in, I mean, if he can continue practicing those moments, taking those one-touch shots, coming from a ball that, you know, isn't even exactly a clean pass, it's only going to be a matter of time before he starts racking up goals.
Celo
An opportunity here.
Goes wide to Barnaby Lopez and just outside of the near post 90.
I almost would have liked to see Celo DePoco take that one himself rather than feed it out wide. He had space from the defenders. I mean, had he hit that one touch, opened up his body, let the body cross over, excuse me, let the ball cross over the body and hit it with his right, or maybe ran onto it with his left.
Either way, Cardinals have still been threatening. Abe Ashby on the far sideline. Great move. Comes into the box looking for some help in the middle and off a Trailblazer, but it wins another corner for the Cardinals.
Nice cut to the inside. That's where you're really, really hoping that somebody is coming in through the middle, not just to goal, but looking for that drop shot. There was a passing lane that he could have possibly taken advantage of, but there was nobody there to receive it. So, of course, he did what he could there, and at least they got the corner from that one.
Corner now for the Cardinals. Edu Perez to take it. Serves it in and straight to Grant. As Grant gets it out quickly.
Have to give Grant some credit here. He has had quite a game, being there where he needs to be, moving well, reading the play, just doing the basics really well, which is, all you can ask for. Quite a challenge there coming from Hugo Constant. Looked like that could have possibly been a foul. Also coming with cleats up, making that clearance. But here it is, back in the mix.
Nielsen on the far side. Goes to Taylor Rogers, just outside the box. And a good win there from Imena. Still in Trailblazer possession. They go near side, just outside the box, reverse it back. Ball played in and Rogers not prepared for that one. Still working it around. Trying to find space in this very compact Cardinal defense, and that one's cleared away by Barnaby Lopez.
Unfortunate, cross in there from the Trailblazers, but it's always so interesting to watch a game when both teams are possession-based. I mean, this almost looks like a game entirely of possession. I kind of wish we had the percentage of possession stats, but I think we could both probably tell you they're very similar. Maybe with the Cardinals leading just a tad, and and when you're up against,
deflected off of Grant and able to pounce on it. Shot there from number 21, Timothy Ospina. Shots going back and forth between Cardinals and Trailblazers. Trailblazers needing an equalizer here in the last 4:30. Another look at the save from Grant.
Good save. I mean, he got his hands there. All you can ask for, dove on top of the ball. Of course, making it difficult. He did try to send out that distribution pretty quickly. They're running out of time, so it makes sense. But I think sometimes that delays the buildup of the ball. When you're down and you only have a few minutes left, sometimes you want to just get it up.
Hugo Constant down for the Cardinals, all the way outside the box.
I think that might have come from that last collision that he had. The one I had mentioned that looked like a possible foul for coming in cleats up. But
here's that replay once again.
Yeah, but looks like player got on the inside of his leg.
It was a heck of a play to come off his line. It was smart because if he stays there in goal, it could be a tie ball game.
That's absolutely right, and unfortunately, that's the cross that these keepers bear when they come into these games, knowing that sometimes the only way is to sacrifice your body and throw yourself fully into the mix. Here, it looks like he's motioning that maybe there's a bit of a tweak in the knee. It's looking painful.
One more look. Larson Rogers was that Trailblazer.
Almost looks like the knee that he fell on is the one giving him more trouble than the knee that the Trailblazer collided with there. It's always hard when you're 4-ish minutes left in the game. You want to push through. But again, keepers need their legs just as much. They have to be really explosive off of that line. Explosive into the air. And that's hard to do. And it looks like he's testing it out here a little bit. It's looking okay. One of the things a team never wants to do is sub a keeper in with 4-ish minutes left who's been on the bench and not warm. So it's looking like he's going to stick this one out here.
.420 remains in this contest. UIW with a 1-0 advantage off a goal from Edu Perez. Free ball in. Headed away. But still controlled by the Trailblazers. Trying to find that equalizer. And out of bounds, but a foul on Perez. Gives the Trailblazer a chance.
Well, unintentional, definitely a foul there.
No handball, left foot, and Constant able to corral that one. Looked like a possible handball as that one went off the shoulder, but a little bit more body off the Cardinal. And another shot on goal, but unable to get it past the wall of Constant. Whistle there on Barnaby Lopez as he was trying to track down Larson Rogers. Just under 3 minutes remain now.
Something Coach Lara had mentioned was how this Cardinals squad has been better at creating chances, and it's kind of looking like the same for the Utah Tech players. And again, great effort there from Hugo Constant coming off his line, punching that ball out. Look at this air he gets, punches the ball out, goes through even his own players, and that is the name of the game with soccer. We all know, don't get in the keeper's way because it hurts when you do. I was in a game once where one of our own players, actually was at practice, she went up for a header and got clocked mid-air on accident and knocked out and fell to the ground, and we had to call the ambulance and the whole 9 yards. And I can assure you that you do not want to be on the end of a keeper punching the ball out.
Constant has been fearless all game long, coming off his line, whether it been a free kick or a long ball in, as we've seen him go out to punch the ball as well as flying ninja kick it out of the way.
I swear, keepers really are ninjas. Like, if they wanted to take on another outside role aside from goalkeeper, ninja would be the job for them, because some of these things that these goalkeepers are able to do with their body, you know, making themselves big, coming out in the air, it really is impressive. Falling on their side without breaking ribs, that's something I've always wondered. How do they not sprain their ribs, or do they and they just play through it?
Free kick now for the Trailblazers. Just a couple ticks over 2 minutes. Still trying to find an equalizer. Working it around. Rogers plays it far post. A lot of battling there. And out of bounds, and a goal kick for the Cardinals. Taylor Rogers trying to find a Trailblazer on that far post. Comes up empty, and Hugo Constant will send this away.
Only a few supporters here tonight for the Utah Tech Trailblazers, but you can see every time they get down at goal, every time the ball comes near them and they start a wonderful play development, you can just see the excitement. And I think, you know, it just feels like they're on the verge of something, of making this opportunity happen. And it's just, they've had so many close calls, but the name of the game is getting the ball in the back of the net, and lucky for the Cardinals, they were able to do that tonight.
Another long ball down the far, near sideline, just trickles out of bounds. That one intended for Adu Perez. 30 seconds now for Utah Tech to find a goal. Unable to corral that one as it's in Cardinals' hands. Trying to put some icing on the cake. Adu Perez turns to Abe Ashby, and that one's in the net.
Wow. I thought for sure Adu Perez was just going to take that one himself, and I was already saying, no, why didn't you? But man, the selflessness of this squad to pass it on, to give it to young gun Abe Ashby, a freshman, adding that second goal to his stat sheet. And wow, the composure, just pass it right into the back of the net. And you know that hurts for Utah Tech right now. I mean, they have kept this Cardinal squad at bay. It definitely, if you had asked me, hey, Katie, is this going to be a 2-0 game? I would not have said it was going to be a 2-0 game. But you know what? Like we said, name of the game, ball in the back of the net. Congratulations there to Abe Ashby.
All smiles for Abe Ashby, getting his second goal of the year. First goal coming against Georgia State. And that one will seal the win for UIW. Still have 9 ticks left. But that 11-game losing streak now goes to a 2-game winning streak for the Cardinals.
Turning a new leaf there for the Cardinals, but man, that close-up, you could just see the sadness in the faces of these Utah Tech Trailblazers. You can just see, you know, the light that they had leave their body, and understandably so. There's nothing like a late goal to make the win appear bigger than it was, and it's unfortunate.
And it's gone final. UIW takes this one against Utah Tech 2-0. And Katie, any final thoughts on today's match?
Nope, none other than, as we had mentioned, it was going to come down to a lapse of judgment or a quick breakaway, and that's what the Cardinals were able to capitalize on tonight. But still a fantastic game from Utah Tech. Definitely not something to hang your head over. Both teams played incredible game today. Again, very similar styles, which made it so difficult. I think, you know, moving forward, it's going to come down to just practicing, executing in the final third, adding some creativity and zhuzh to what you've already got going on. But again, a young squad, a full rebuild here, and I think great game to both teams tonight.
Hugo Constant gets his first shutout and victory of the year. First shutout victory, second win of the year. They now move to 2-11 on the year, and they will go back on the road. They'll play at Edinburgh Wednesday at 6:30 against UT Rio Grande Valley. And we'll take some look at the final stats here. Again, very evenly matched, but just those 2 laps in judgment where Adu Perez and Abe Ashby are able to find the back of the net.
That's right. I mean, look at these numbers. 10 shots on goal, 9 for UIW. I mean, they are so similar that, like I said, if you didn't know the score, you would think this would end up in a tie game. But again, it's just those few moments that work to the advantage of the Cardinals tonight.
Utah Tech will stay on the road as they go to Utah Valley. They'll play Friday, October 28th at 6 p.m. But in this one, it's UIW who gets the win, moving the matchup history to 2-1 in favor of Utah Tech as they take this one 2-0 at Benson Stadium. For Katie Goodman, I'm Sam Kamen saying so long from the Alamo City. This has been College Soccer here at UIW.